Hey y'all, in this video I'll be discussing some of the
weird things
you experience after having VSG. As usual, the list is in no particular order, but let's get started. One of the things that I would consider
weird
after having VSG is the fact that your body is freezing cold. And I'm not talking a simple cold. I mean, is that serious? So unless you were anemic, like I was prior to surgery, then your body temperature was more than likely normal or hot, because of the excess weight.
Well, boy, does that change after surgery.
For quite some time, you will be freezing, very cold. And this is probably due to the rapid decrease in insulation, the rapid fat loss. It's very pronounced. It's very noticeable. I live in Florida, and y'all know that it's typically hot here. Even our cold weather is what most people would probably consider hot or warm. But ever since I've had the surgery, anemia aside, I've been extra cold. There are days where I have to sleep in a sweatshirt, a couple shirts under that, multiple pairs of socks, and multiple pairs of pajamas.
And I'm still cold.
My hands always feel like ice. My feet always feel like ice, and my nose always feels frozen. It definitely takes some getting used to. So to be prepared, I would suggest you get a good heating pad, a good heating blanket, and maybe even a small space heater, all of which I utilize. There are nights where, despite having on all of the clothing that I mentioned, I can't sleep unless I have those items, my heating pad and my small little space heater, in addition to my regular heat on. So those things definitely help. So make sure you get those or be prepared for a serious surge in your electricity bill. Something else that I've experienced post-op is the fact that my taste buds aren't the same. So get used to the idea that your taste buds will not be the same anymore. Foods that once tasted good to you will suddenly and unexplainably taste horrible to you after the surgery. Some of your favorite foods will make you nauseous after the surgery. So you also might become fixated on a certain food or a certain couple of foods, but this is more than likely because your stomach is adjusting after the surgery, and as a result there are only a few things that you can eat anyway. So once you find those few things, those couple things that you can eat, get used to the fact that you might want those over and over and over. Next thing, constant burping. Yeah. One thing that I thought the surgery would help me with was my acid reflux, but it actually got worse post-op.
A lot worse.
In the very beginning, I experienced very bad acid indigestion and reflux, and I also burped constantly, especially when eating and drinking, but those weren't the only times. I burped constantly.
All of the time.
I could be talking and here comes a burp. I mean, mid-sentence. And I'm not talking about the little cute burps. I'm talking about the long, loud, nasty burps. Those big, huge, gargantuan burps. Just be prepared because they will come. And though it hasn't stopped, it's gotten much better. I don't really get embarrassed too easy, but if you do, you might not want to eat and drink in public or around folks that you feel like you might blush in front of or all that good stuff, because it's gonna happen. I mean, just go ahead and get used to the fact that it's gonna happen. And if you try to hold it in, you'll be in pain, and ultimately you're gonna have to do it anyway. So just get prepared for all the burping, because it's coming. The stomach noises. We've all heard our stomach growlings when we're hungry or when our food is digesting, right? Well, just multiply that times 100 and you have the noises that your stomach will make post-op. Is that serious? Sometimes it sounds like my stomach is having a full-blown conversation in another language. I kid you not. And again, these noises are pretty loud. So again, for my folks who embarrass easily, just keep that in mind. So those are the main things that I've experienced and have had to get used to since having VSG. Most of them really don't bother me now, but they did take some getting used to. I will be honest about that. And I just wanted to share these things with you so that you're aware and prepared if they do happen to you, because more often than not, or more than likely, they will happen. So if you've already had surgery and you've experienced anything other than the ones that I've mentioned that you would consider
Weird.
please drop them down below for the newbies or those who are considering having VSG. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications. Okay, talk to you in the next video. Bye. Should put that in the video.